As I mentioned, this is the Asian Room Quattro Nicaragua Maestro. The wrapper feels really nice and it's a box press, so it's not round like other cigars. One, it was a torpedo, that's why it was really pointy, but it's also box press. I got some B-roll, I'll put it on. But this is really nice. Hola amigos, welcome back to Cigar Ritual. Today we are reviewing the Asian Room Quattro Nicaragua, a cigar that was crowned Cigar of the Year 2019. So the expectations are high. As always, we're here with Kurosh. How are you, Kurosh?
Very good. Good to be here.
Looking forward to trying this?
Yeah, this looks really good.
Yes. So this cigar has obviously been crowned Cigar of the Year, which is very special for any cigar brand or any cigar blend. And we are going to try today in the video to see what it's like, what we can share with you, and what we think of it. As I mentioned, this is the Asian Room Quattro Nicaragua Maestro, and it was crowned Cigar of the Year 2019. Now this is a torpedo box press, 6x52. The strength is medium or medium to full, and the origin of the blend of the tobacco is Nicaraguan wrapper, binder, and filler. So this is a Nicaraguan Puro. It was created by Rafael Nodal and made by AJ Fernandez. Now, I will tell you a little bit more about Rafael Nodal, why is it important, why they naming it, and AJ Fernandez is the brand, the manufacturer. They also make, obviously, a lot of cigars, but in this particular cigar, it was a collaboration between AJ Fernandez and Rafael Nodal, which is a master blend. I'll light up, start smoking through it, and I'll tell you a little bit more of that story.
So, Asian Room
Yes.
Quattro Nicaragua.
Yes.
Sounds like the name of a pizza or something. Sounds like the Quattro Formages.
Quattro fromages, yeah, 4 cheeses. Quattro means 4. The throw is really good. Going back to light it. So I'm using a double flame lighter, keeping a distance as always. Kurosh is doing the same. He's got the lighting and cutting nailed now. We've done, I think it's 14 episodes now.
Really?
Yeah. Tried a lot of cigars. This one I've been really looking forward to. So this one has been sitting on my humidor for about 2 weeks. I bought it to test, to try, and to do this review. Wow. A lot of coffee notes. Yeah.
Coffee, chocolate.
Yeah. And the draw is excellent. The wrapper feels really nice. And it's a box press, so it's not round like other cigars. One, it was a torpedo, that's why it was really pointy, but it's also box press. I got some B-roll, I'll put it on. But
Two things going on here, no?
yeah, so when they're coming to the end of it's different to a normal Robusto.
Because it's box press.
No, because it's a torpedo, the leaf is stretched a bit longer, yeah, to do the whole shape, so you can see it more. But that's why you can cut a bit more of these cigars. You know, like in the Robustos, we only cut a little bit below the shoulders. Here, we're able to cut basically all the way to here because you want them unwrapped as the last leaf is started to wrap from the bottom here. That's why it looks like that. But construction is great. The leaf is very nice. There's a little vein over here, but overall it's nice. It feels really nice in the hand, smooth, silky. The band, I think that orange band stands out a lot.
Chocolate is really, I don't know,
Yeah.
it started with so much, well, it's not so much, it's a few very strong flavors already. So coffee, chocolate, taste a bit of pepper maybe.
Yeah, there's a little bit of paper, but it is still this is gonna sound weird, but like a refreshing cigar is dark notes of coffee, chocolate, but it's not a very strong cigar on your palate. It's quite clean, nice aftertaste.
I think it doesn't have too many notes.
Yes.
It's like
it's very well balanced.
Yeah, very few distinct notes.
And it's very well balanced.
This would be a great cigar, I think, for an intermediate person who's trying to find the notes.
Yes.
But it doesn't. So it's got some strong notes, but not that many.
That is going to confuse you. Like there is a to pinpoint chocolate, coffee.
Yeah. So it's easy, like, because I think I'm an intermediate now.
Yes. Definitely,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, so I find this like a less confusing than.
Well, as soon as we lit it, straight away we picked up those notes. Let's see as we smoke it, the cigar will warm up, the oils warm up, and we see how it will develop. But at the moment, it started really well. And again, the construction is good, box press.
I like box press cigars a lot, but they say they usually have more construction problems
Really?
than normal ones. But I liked it because I think I was talking to Ken, and
Mm-hmm.
he was saying it's more difficult to wrap, so they use the best rollers for the box
For the
press
box
ones.
press. So this started off really nice. I think if you start this cigar with a coffee, with a nice Americano or an espresso, you start off with that, and maybe later on you can add maybe a spirit or something. But let's see how it changes. But I think starting it off with a nice coffee would be nice.
It's very Nicaraguan, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Quattro, so it's everything filler, wrapper, and binder from Nicaragua.
Yeah, so it's a puro. I find that on the retrohale is very floral, sweet note, but it's very floral. The retrohale is very pleasant. Again, the draw has been great. Burning is burning nice.
Ritual is nice as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't tear you up or anything. Really nice. It feels like if it was an aged tobacco, but I didn't read anything about being aged.
That's what it says Asian.
But that's the brand of the cigar. That's not the age. I couldn't find if the tobacco used in here had any age statements. But it feels very well fermented, cured, and construction looks good. So that's why it's easy to do a retrohale. Palette is very clean.
The leather.
Yeah. See, you're picking them up now. I stay quiet now. At the beginning, I used to name them and he would find them. Now, Kurosh is finding the notes himself. And yeah, I'll correct or disagree with him, but you're on the right path.
14 reviews, huh?
But you've been smoking outside of this as well.
Yeah, especially since the weather has been nice.
Great. No, it does really help when the weather is nice. But yeah, and you've been trying different cigars, not just the ones that we smoke. You've been trying variety, which is really good to develop the palate.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange situation because I'm changing variety. Then I think I'm getting tired of changing variety, and I go back to the ones that I like.
Okay.
Then I smoke a couple of them. Then I have enough of one variety.
Yeah.
So.
But that's normal. That's good because I find something similar myself. So I'll go and try different things, but sometimes you find some cigars that are like not what you like, and it's nice to go back to the one that you do like, enjoy that, and then start again.
Or some days you're just not in the mood for a surprise.
Yeah.
You want to know exactly what.
Scrap that. You know you're gonna have a good time and enjoy.
Sometimes I'm like that, but it reminds me of the Oliva.
CDV?
Yeah.
Could it be the shape or the profile?
The both actually. But that was that Nicaraguan? No, the Mexican wrapper. Right?
I don't remember what the blend is, but it is a box press and it's.
But it had that clean,
yes.
simple taste.
Oh, this is nice.
So this is a torpedo. What's
a torpedo box press? So as I mentioned, this cigar was blended by Rafael Nodal with AJ Fernandez. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Rafael. I think it's a very interesting story, but I will give you just a little bit of background about him so that you understand how special it is to get a cigar blended by him. So Rafael Nodal used to be a musician, then turned into a master blender. He's Cuban born. He was born in 1964 and then fled to the US in the 1980s. He trained as a musician. He played piano, composed music, and then he moved to New York, then Miami. He worked in the healthcare and later entered the cigar through online retail in the 90s. In 2002, he and a couple of partners took over a brand called Havana Cuban Cigar & Co. and rebranded it to Boutique Blends. They created the Aging Room line, which is a small batch of cigars in 2011. So this is what the Aging Room stands. So it's the brand of the cigars. And they created it then. So the Rafael Nodal brand is the Aging Room, and AJ Fernandez is the factory where they put it all together, the manufacturer. But this is really nice. So the ash just fell on its own, but it's revealed a very nice construction inside. Again, it's very linear.
You say it should be like a dome, like.
There's a little cone inside, so you see, but it's very minimal. Sometimes you get a very big, pronounced cone, but it's very enjoyable. You've been smoking a bit more than me. How you finding that?
No, I think it's very nice, simple. I find it, yeah, flavorful, very distinct flavors, but not too complicated.
Yeah, I think it's when you say simple. I don't know. I think you mean like balanced. Yeah, because it's not simple. You do pick up those notes that we mentioned, but they're balanced. Nothing is like popping out really strong peppers or is
Because you can, like, the pepper is more like the taste of the pepper than
Yeah.
the spiciness.
exactly yes, and it's on the I find it as an aftertaste more than in the smoke. But there is leather. See your tongue?
Yeah.
There's leather in there as well. It's really enjoyable.
Cedar.
So I already told you a little bit about Rafael Nodal. Let me tell you about AJ Fernandez. Okay, because they make a lot of cigars. Again, it's a big brand, and we're definitely going to be trying more cigars.
So they have their own cigars and they make.
Yeah, this was like a partnership.
It's like Pleasance, yeah.
Yes.
Like the same.
Yeah, so they make, yeah, exactly. So AJ Fernandez was born in Cuba and is the grandson of Andres Fernandez, a cigar maker for Partagas, or Habanos. Yeah. He moved to Nicaragua and founded the AJ Fernandez Cigars in Estelí in 2005. They rose quickly, making powerhouse blends like San Lotano, New World, Bellas Artes, and Enclave. Those are great cigars. The Bellas Artes is really nice. New World is very well known, and I smoked a few of them. Really good. AJ Fernandez makes some really good cigars, actually. They're known for the full body pepper forward profiles and deep fermentation techniques. They grow much of their tobaccos across farms in Estelí, Condega, and Jalapa. And the factory is called Tabacalera AJ Fernandez, one of the most respected facilities in Nicaragua. So when Nodal wanted a Nicaraguan expression for his aging room brand, that's why he joined the partnership with AJ Fernandez, and they created this cigar, which I think is a piece of art.
That was the high altitude place.
You mean where Plasencia was growing there? No, there was a high altitude. I don't think it was Jalapa. No, it was a farm in high altitude, but I don't remember. They do grow tobacco in Jalapa. It's a very well recognized region for Nicaraguan tobacco. I find a very floral note on the retrohale. Very different, a bit sweet note, floral. Is when I said floral and stuff, it's not floral. It's an almond note, nutty, but almond with a sweetness and a floral note that comes from almonds. Really nice. Again, I'm entering now. We're both entering the second third, and that note got really pronounced.
So cigars which win the cigar of the year, that's like a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, of course, because for example, Cigar Aficionado, they get sent all the cigars from the manufacturers, and they do blind tastings. Then they will rank them, and there's like a big group of testers, and then they get the average. And obviously, you're competing with a lot of brands. Not only brands, but each brand sometimes bring 2-3 different cigars. You're also competing with Habanos. Habanos do enter those participations.
Is the Habanos in the list as well?
Yes.
Okay. So Habanos wins.
Yeah, Cigar Aficionado ranks all the cigars, not just New World or.
Okay, so they're not an American publication?
They are, but because they have reviewers throughout the world, or I don't know how it works, but they are ranked, and they have reached. The Habano have reached tops as well, but this one, so yeah, when they reach top 5 or top 1 or 2 is really good, and then you see it. They'll normally put in the bands and all the publications and things like that. But this is really nice. I think I see why it won, because one, it has very very flavorful notes. The aging that has been done, the process, the manufacturer, great, and the notes, the almond note, for example, we haven't 15 episodes, we haven't had anything like that. Obviously, coffee and earthy notes and chocolate, very common, but the cigar has developed also being a torpedo, box press, that adds to the visual beauty of it, and there's obviously the smoke, the way that it burns and stuff. So yeah, that retrohale is really different, really unique.
So, how much are these?
Well, here in the UK, they're about 25 to 77 pounds. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I wanted us to try it, as I said, I bought it, I had it for about 2 weeks in the humidor. I wanted to try it, obviously do the review, but I had a big incline because it's been recommended to me a couple of times as a cigar that I could add to Toro Puro. And as far as we are now, it's ticking all the boxes, so I might add this to Toro Puro, and again, it will be same 25, 20, 26 pounds or so. I'll have to find obviously the price for where we can list it. But we try to be very competitive on our prices. So before the video comes out, we probably would have already listed it. I'll link it in the top link for you guys to check it out if you like. But let's wait to the end. Let's see how it finishes. To now, sticking all the boxes. And I think for 26 pounds, it's really good. Really good.
So you have a lot of Nicaraguan cigars.
Mm.
Huh?
It's a bit of a blend. I'm trying to keep Dominican, Nicaraguan, Honduras balance, yeah. And obviously we have Habanos as well.
But is it balanced? Because you got Honduran, you got a couple only, no?
Yes, but there's not many Honduran brands either. So I'll try to feature from all the regions so that we all have a good, amount to choose from. But mostly is Dominican and Nicaraguan. At the moment, from the results that came out of the US, Nicaragua is the country that is selling most of the cigars at the moment.
To the US, yeah.
Well, worldwide. Then we have.
Really, they're more than DR.
Yes.
Wow.
At the moment.
That's surprising.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nicaraguan brands, or a lot of cigars coming out. Again, I think it also has to do with the way that the law works in there, because it's really weird. So Dominican Republic has actually made the tobacco a national product. Yeah, so it's their national product, I think it is. Nicaragua, although makes so many cigars, they have a lot of legislations against smoking, about all of this. So a lot of the brands are in the free ports and things like that. They're all based because inside the country, the laws will apply differently. And I was listening to a podcast, and the guys were saying that, well, I also find it really weird. If they produce so many cigars, the government should, help the factories and make sure they enter more the economy and things like that. But yeah, the Dominican Republic is coming on second at the moment. So we're entering now the middle of the second third. And as I mentioned earlier, a bit different. But I picked up like a banana note. Sweet, again, that sweet note. But it did remind me of banana a little bit. Coffee still there.
Spice is more spicy.
Yeah. The leather note, I think, is gone. My opinion, I don't pick up that leather note. But there is a sweetness in the palate as well. The smoke is really nice, thick, creamy. I don't know if you can still see it in the camera. But again, it's a cigar that has been aged properly, fermented properly. Our eyes are not burning or anything. Retrohale is easy to do, even at this stage, because sometimes as it gets further to the end, it gets stronger, and then the retrohale becomes a bit difficult. But this is really nice.
Did I send you that article for Netanyahu?
Asking for expensive gifts.
One of the corruption charges against him is all that he's asking for
Cigars.
And
I hope they knew about Toro Puro. Ordering cigars from us from. No, fuck that guy.
No,
actually no. I wouldn't sell cigars to him.
So it's got, I don't know, the image of cigars in Hollywood, yeah, is sort of a bad guy image, because the antagonist usually, it's not the nice guy who's smoking the cigar, it's like the big boss. Or
yeah, they give it two images in Hollywood. Either the big boss, the rich guy, blah blah. Even in UK movies, same thing. It's like the king, the big royalty people who will smoke. Or you get the gangsters. Like, for example, there was a picture that I saw the other day of Al Pacino when he did Scarface,
Yeah.
and a lot of the movie, the Sopranos, gangsters,
Yeah.
they all so. But overall, I think the idea is obviously people who indulge in premium things and things like that. It's just that it's a bit bad when they get connected to the dark world, let's say. But yeah, it's basically the big bosses, the rich man that can sit an hour or two and enjoy a cigar. But then you also have in real life, then you have like basketball players like Jordan, you have Premier League players smoking it, um, yeah, like in the real world, it's not
But a lot of
gangsters
them,
only.
they play golf and they smoke it
Yes.
on the golf course.
In the golf course, yeah. A lot of athletes actually smoke cigars. I am trying, doing the research and putting it all together to make a video about that, about how cigars are used to not only as an indulgence, but also to commemorate. So normally when they win a cup or something, they'll celebrate with a cigar. The Super Bowl, things like that, they celebrate with a cigar. It marks the occasion, and I want to talk about that in that video. But there's a lot of athletes which, again, might go against what a lot of people think about smoking and smoking a cigar. That's why I say there's a very big difference between this and a cigarette. If an athlete, somebody who takes care of the body, trains for so many weeks of the year to be at the top level, they're okay with smoking a cigar, but they won't be okay with smoking a cigarette. There's a why, and that's what I want to talk about in that video. How are you finding that?
Again, steady. Change the little in the second third, more spicy. The chocolate is still there. Coffee is still there.
Construction is still great. I've been knocking the ash on purpose to get it off, but very good. The cigar is holding nice. It's not that warm. Temperature is good. Yours is burning nicely as well. Plenty of smoke, creaminess.
The aftertaste is smooth.
And he says that it's a medium to full. I mean, it has increased a little bit. I would say now if you wanted to pair it with maybe a rum, would be good. Even something like a Negroni might work. Or a whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey,
I think
brandy.
the spiciness would be
Yeah.
fun with the whiskey.
Yeah, I think you can do that from now on. I am drinking coffee, and coffee is still pairing really well. As it's got those creamy notes and the chocolate and coffee notes, and they're still here. I think you can drink a coffee throughout. If you want to pair it with like a cappuccino to get that creaminess as well, I think it'll work really well. But if you wanted to add some spirits or something, I think at this point you could be able to do that. It would pair really nice. But overall, I think it's really nice. I mean, there's, like I said, medium to full. I think it's more of a medium, and I think you're right. If somebody who wants to learn about notes and trying to train the palate, this is a good cigar because you do pick up those notes, but you're not getting that strong nicotine or a unbalanced cigar. It's very balanced, very smooth, and the notes are very prominent. So the body is quite a strong body. So would you recommend this, Guru?
I love this.
Would you buy it?
Yeah. I will put this in my humidor.
Yeah. So it's humidor approved. But I think it's also like as a gift, a cigar to give somebody that smokes either regularly or to commemorate a special occasion. This is great.
Yeah, nice introduction to Nicaraguan
Yes,
cigars if
yes.
they want to do a Puro, or maybe you can put it in your Nicaraguan bundle.
Bandos, yeah. So you try, yeah. That's
Because it's got that the wrapper is like looks like a Nicaraguan wrapper, doesn't it?
yeah. No, it's a very nice cigar. Beautiful blend. It's crazy how these master blenders because when you look at videos on how they make cigars, they're like just bunching leaves together and that's it. But they play with the blend and it's so. Again, I've had comments and people say, "Oh, all of these regions and stuff is just BS." It's not. They play with the regions, they play with the tobaccos and the aging and all of this, and they come up with something.
Even you go to flower shops, they do the bouquets, and it's more always like the same flowers, but they just mix it. And
But this is different. Different.
I think I would like something like for my perfect cigar to be more complex and strong, but that's me. But yeah, I can smoke this during the day.
Yeah, I think you mean more strength, more nicotine.
more nicotine, and no, because usually there's a bunch of flavors that I can't even tell. I know this there, because I can't put my finger on it. I can't find too many flavors which I can't put. It was the almond which you sort of picked up, but other than that, I think all the notes more or less.
Yeah, they're very established notes,
Yeah,
easy
and some
to
cedar as
understand.
well. I don't know if you.
There is cedar, especially now that cedar pronounced. But I think that's good though, because well, I like a cigar more like this, where the notes are very pronounced. Because if you're talking
Yeah.
or you're drinking something and then notes pop, I like that. See, I like to be stopped and then brought back to the cigar.
I had a few run-ins lately with Cuban cigar lovers,
What happened?
and they just don't want to know.
You found those, yeah?
They just
You
don't
got
want
to
to have
those.
a conversation. I was in the cigar shop, and this guy was looking at these cigars, and I was there just to pick up a couple of cigars,
Okay.
and I pointed out to some foundations and things like that.
Things that you've tried that you know they're
Yeah, and
good.
I know I was just trying to be friendly, and the guy, no, only Cubans, and I'm saying, and I said no, but these are no, and I kept on saying, and he was saying no, and then he looked, and suddenly I realized that he thought I'm working there. And I said,
You're
listen,
pushing the brand.
I said to him, I'm not working here. I don't care, whatever you want to buy, go for it.
But yeah, I mean,
So it was that. I had a good friend of mine I met a few weeks ago, and
okay.
he was just giving me, and I kept, and he wasn't even willing to discuss or try it.
Mm.
And it's just,
It's funny. I mean, I understand why it has happened. The thing is with, and again, I don't have anything against Habano, and you or the person, you smoke whatever you want and you like whatever you like. They have like the Habanos, because it's been here for so long, that brand, that the Cuban cigars, and they were at one point, according to rankings and a lot of people, they were the pinnacle, because that's where Spain started making cigars, and great brands like Partagas and Romeo and Julieta, they were amazing brands. But then now we also have New World, and saying that one is better than the other one, or only preferring one, I think is a bit of lack of education, because at the beginning there was the thing of, oh, these guys are starting, like say for instance Dominican Republic, they're starting, they haven't nailed it now, they still, but now on where we are at the moment, the Dominicans, well, all of them are making some beautiful cigars. They have a couple of days ago, I've dropped a video of the Casa Carrillo 15 aniversario, which has tobacco that is 15 years, 10 years, and 8 years old aged. Yeah, and again, it's a very unique cigar. The fermentation, the love and care, 15 years having tobacco that you can't. It's not something that you just put in a drawer and leave it there for 15 years. You have to keep maintaining that tobacco. You have to flip it. You have to turn it. You have to look at it, assess it, take care of it. It's a big investment. It's like wine.
I think it's more like, especially like the old timers. Like, have you told my grandmother's TV story? So a few years ago, I was back home, went to visit my grandmother, and she said she wants her TV has died and she wants a new TV. And I said, okay, Grandma, I'm here. I'll go and buy you a TV.
Flat screen TV, yeah?
Yeah, I said, I'll buy you a TV. And she says, I want a Sony.
Okay.
And I go, fine, Grams, I'll get you a Sony. So I go to the bazaar where, and I don't know if you know, like all of the shops are next to each other, like there's 10 TV shops.
Okay, yeah.
So you go and like it's old TV. So I go there and ask for a Sony TV, and they give me the Sony TV. Then halfway, as I'm paying the money, get a phone call from my grandma. I said, hi Grandma, did you buy the TV? No, I'm buying it now. Make sure it's manufactured, and this is like an 82-year-old woman. Make sure it's manufactured in Japan. I said, Grandma,
It doesn't work like that anymore.
It's a Sony. Although I know where it's. No, tell him that my grandma wants a Japanese manufacturer. And I'm embarrassed. I said, listen, do you have a Japanese manufacturer? He goes, no, this is Sony. I said, I know, but she's saying she wants from Japan manufactured. where is this manufacturer? This manufacturer's in Finland. I said, okay. And he goes, and he gave me like a 5% discount or something because he couldn't get me
The Japanese one.
And there was a thing to it. And she wouldn't hear anything else. She couldn't tell the difference, but you know.
But it's well, you're right. It's the way that things used to be before. If you get a TV that was manufactured in Japan would be a better quality than manufactured somewhere else. It's like, for example, I like watches, and Seiko is a worldwide brand.
Yeah.
But if you get the Seikos that are manufactured in Japan, they're better than the other ones.
Really?
Still, yeah?
No
Still.
way.
But I mean, this is like a very niche, unique thing. TVs now, like all this technology is manufactured everywhere.
I watched the YouTube video about how the Chinese are taking over the luxury watch market. They're gunning for that.
With what? With the clones and stuff? Or they're bringing on their own brands?
Yeah, they're bringing up their own brands, like high quality, low price.
Yeah, these guys are catching up with a lot of stuff. You seen the amount of Chinese cars in the road?
Mm.
Even the buses are Chinese. Where before, I mean, I'm talking 5-8 years ago, the buses were Mercedes. In Cardiff, for example.
How many Chinese cars can you name?
Well, they all have some weird names, but...
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, it's still, we don't know the names. It's BYD.
Yeah. There is
it's the
Jayco, something like that. It's some weird name.
Hyundai? No, not Hyundai. Hayumi. There's the electronic one that they make cars as well. They've got one similar to the Porsche.
Oh, right.
Macan.
Okay.
The one that Speed was doing that. Was that the BYD? No, he didn't test the BYD. He tested.
But I know which one you mean. But yeah, there's a lot of, especially electric cars coming out from China. Apparently they're good. But yeah, how are you finding that? You're now, I'm a bit further along. You're in the last third as well, yeah?
Lovely.
Has it changed anything?
No, very.
Construction is still good.
Tastes lovely. I think the taste is a bit stronger.
Yes, it has built up a little bit. But the nicotine I don't feel is too strong. Medium, a good medium, and maybe touching a little bit of full. But the flavors, body-wise, yes. Medium to full, definitely. Construction is good. The smoke is good. Still, the retrohale is easy. Aftertaste is nice. I do think it would have paired nicer with a rum or a spirit after the middle of the second third. But yes, nice overall. Definitely coming into Toro Puro. And yeah, and well, that's it. That's the Aging Room Nicaragua Quattro by AJ Fernandez. I think it's a beautiful cigar. I'm going to be adding it to the website. If you haven't smoked this cigar or any of the AJ Fernandez, let me know in the comments. If you have any of them cigars, either from Rafael or AJ Fernandez, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this one over here. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video with your friends, and until the next time, remember, enjoy the ritual.